a regular video if my room wasn't a complete mess when I turned the camera on. Hello everyone, my name is Jay Pulliam and it is time for another video. First, I would just like to say hello to all of the new subscribers that have joined this little group we have going on the internet. Hi, how are you? You're looking well. Hi. Hi. And also thank you to everyone who has liked or messaged me or just even watched my last video. That was really fun to make, actually, and it was just talking about shoes and I loved it. And so thank you to everyone who has liked or done anything like that. But as some of you know, or maybe you're new and you don't actually know, I have just recently finished my freshman year of college. It's summer, and yeah, I'm gonna be a sophomore in August, in about a month now. Yeah, I go back in like mid-August, and I'm looking forward to it. And so someone on Tumblr messaged me and said that I never did like a kind of freshman year recap or things like that, or tips or things for incoming freshmen, incoming high school students, college students, and stuff like that. I would just like to preface that these are all from my own personal experience. I can't speak for everyone. Everyone's college experience is different. Everyone's freshman year is different. And these are just things that I've picked up, that I have learned. So laying it all out on the table, my name is Jay Pulliam, or Jonathan Pulliam. I'm 19. I am currently a sophomore going to Tuskegee University. Currently the #1 HBCU in the United States. HBCU means Historically Black College or University. And I'll get into that a little bit later. An English major, currently trying to minor in either communications or psychology. Yeah, I'm gonna be a sophomore, guys. So, I guess I'll start off with kind of the whole college selection process, picking colleges, getting, ACT, SAT scores, yeah. So when I was kind of selecting schools, I guess I started, around junior year, beginning of junior year, I would say. And then I actually started applying, senior year. So the selection process for me was interesting, I guess. I guess where I live, we typically take the ACT, not so much the SAT. And I guess, up north or, more towards the West Coast, SAT scores are typically more, pushed. But, yeah, I took the ACT. I got pretty good scores. I took it 3 times. Most of the colleges that I applied to, they super score, so they take your, which means they take your best section out of each test, and then, you get the best, essentially you get like a better score or a more, if maybe you didn't do so hot on one section but you did really good on the other one, that's what you get. And they'll take the best ones out of each test. I applied to, I want to say about 8 different colleges, and thankfully I got into all of my colleges that I applied to. I was pretty happy about that. I know a lot of people can't say that. I know a lot of people get a lot of rejection letters and things like that, and not knocking anyone who does is part of the college process, but just prefacing, I got into all the schools that I applied to. Originally, before I applied, I was set. I wanted to go out of state. I wanted to get away from home and all of that, but when you're applying to colleges, and I'm not going to go too much into financial aid because there's a lot of details in that I'm still figuring out now. But basically, in-state schools are typically a lot cheaper and more cost-effective than out-of-state schools, except for me, because my school, Tuskegee University, go Tigers, it's a private school, but it's also an in-state where I live, and so it's the same price for everyone, regardless, in-state versus out-of-state. And that's the way it is with a lot of private colleges, well, smaller colleges, it's the same price. I applied to 7 or 8 different schools, including Tuskegee, and eventually they gave me the largest scholarship money, and so that's where I was going. What I would suggest is, if you can, tour your top colleges, make time out during your senior year or junior year to tour them, to get a feel for the campus, get a feel for the environment, if you can. If, say, maybe your school is across the country, maybe you can't fit time in, definitely go to their website. There's tons of videos. I'm sure just type in your college's name in YouTube or Google, and there's someone out there who has talked about them. And that's a lot what I did, especially after I decided that I was committing to Tuskegee. There's a ton of videos out there just, about the school, its history. There's a lot of history that goes into my school that I'll maybe talk about in another video. But yeah, so I think I decided that I was coming to my college, to Tuskegee University, around second semester, I think like January or so of my senior year. And so after that, I graduated and everything. I graduated with my high school, and I had that summer. I worked most of the summer. I think we took a trip somewhere. And then around August, it was time to go to school. But you guys have seen all my, what I packed and things like that. For my dorm, you've seen my dorm room tour and everything like that. If you haven't, there'll be descriptions in the down bar. I stayed on the dorms my freshman year of college. I stayed in the dorms. The dorms themselves were fine. I thought community bathrooms were going to be a lot worse than they are. As far as me, I'm typically a very clean person. I like my spaces, pretty tidy. I like them, And so getting used to sharing a very small space with a person wasn't terrible, okay? Because I've had to share a room with my brother for a very long time. And so I was used to living in the same room with someone, but I think what I wasn't used to was not having, because it's not like me and my brother didn't have like an entire house that we could go somewhere in. And so I think getting used to, having to, just being on my own, which I think I adapted pretty well, and I think that part I was alright with. But having a roommate, having to set boundaries, having to, decide things and rules and just about the room, that was something I wasn't used to. I wasn't used to not having someone respect my space, respect my items, respect me as a person, and I think that was something I had to kind of get used to and kind of, be a little bit more assertive on. My roommate situation was not bad. He was a good guy. We just didn't get along as much as I thought we would second semester as opposed to first semester. We were pretty good friends, we still talk and everything, but we just won't be rooming together next year. And that's all I'm gonna say on that. I've talked to a lot of people that they hate the roommate, they moved out with the roommate and then fought and everything, and I didn't have that. Me and my roommate, we were pretty close. I think one thing I do regret is I'm the type of person where I don't like conflict. I don't like, fighting with people. I don't like, having someone not like me. So, a lot of the times I wouldn't say what I wanted to say. I wouldn't do what I wanted to do because I didn't want him to, think of me any different. I'm very just kind of go with the flow. Just, I'm very easygoing a lot of the time. And I didn't want to jeopardize that because I thought he wouldn't like me. I thought, he would think I was, whatever. When you have to share a space with someone who obviously is not used to sharing a space, bottom line, set boundaries, you'll be fine. So that's my experience in the dorms. Community bathrooms, we had janitors that came twice a day, so the bathrooms stayed pretty clean. And on the weekend, they wouldn't come on the weekends, so whatever mess was there, usually either we had to clean up or would wait until Monday morning and have the janitors clean up themselves. For a guy's dorm, I was surprised that our bathrooms stayed really clean. So, classes. In my experience, they are as hard as you make them. Yes, this is not high school. You will be expected to do college level work. I've always been a good student. In high school, I focused on my grades a lot. I wanted to make sure I got the best grades that I could. But in high school, I didn't have to try. I feel like I didn't have to try as hard to get good grades. Because I went to a very small private high school, and everyone it went through kindergarten up till 12th grade, so everyone knew each other. All the teachers basically watched you grow up, so they knew your family, they knew everything. My graduating class was about 65 people, I think, and so going from that to being put onto a college campus where I have to make new relationships with teachers, I have to make sure they know I'm doing my work, that I'm trying, that I'm getting things in on time, or trying to, or have a good reason if I didn't. That was not a challenge, but just kind of like something I hadn't had to do in a long time. So what I can tell you is especially at Tuskegee, just get your work done on time or preferably early. Make sure your professors know you. Make sure they know, your face. Participate in class. That's something that I did some in high school, but typically in high school I was a lot quieter. I would do my work, but maybe not say as much in class. And that's something that I had to kind of get over, because professors, they have you for maybe 3 times a week for an hour at most. And so they're not going to remember you if you're not participating in class. Yes, you might get good grades on their tests or your papers or whatever, but if they don't know, this person, if you come to their office and are asking, hey, I'm trying, can you help me out? And they haven't seen you in class, or they don't know you're in class, whatever, that comes in handy, Do your homework, get it in on time, preferably early. If you need a tutor, get a tutor. There's no shame in it. We all need one at one point. If you need help, ask. Your teachers are there. They care. At least I feel like, because my school isn't the biggest, but I feel like there's a very good community aspect to it at Tuskegee. Your teachers, they want you to succeed, and to do that, you need to do well in classes, and so they'll be more apt to help you if you show that you want to. And I think that's probably the same anywhere, I feel like, but I know that's especially what I've gotten from my freshman year in school. Get your work done, know your teachers, ask for help if you need it. That's it. Making friends. Making friends. For my freshman year, my experience was very hard. Because like I said, I went to high school with the same people since 5th grade up until graduating high school. It's very New England, lots of white people, and that never really dawned on me until I was in an environment where I wasn't a minority anymore. Tuskegee, it was founded as a historically black college or university. A large percentage of my entire school are African American students, and that brings a lot of people have a lot of culture everyone has a different type of lifestyle that they bring, and that just wasn't something I was used to. I wasn't used to being surrounded completely just by people who look like me. That brings up lots of subjects about race and identity and, and things like that I just was not used to. Not a good or bad thing, I just wasn't used to. And so having to make friends with people that I wasn't, completely used to being around, that was a little bit hard, I'll admit that. What I can say about making friends, I think I can go for anywhere, is the right kind of people will find you. Do what you love, and the right kind of people will gravitate towards you. Be yourself. I know that's extremely cliche to say, but don't try to put on a new facade. Don't, if you want to reinvent yourself, I can see that, but don't do anything that's not essentially you. I definitely wanted to be more outgoing than I was in high school, and so I joined some clubs that I personally felt interested in. I joined the newspaper, I joined like an artist group, I joined some things that I personally was interested in. I think that's how I met people. And I think making friends was a lot harder than I thought, because I'm a naturally very introverted person. I like my alone time, I like, whatever. And I think that's kind of hard to get out of when you're in college and you see all your high school friends back home, and people like you have class with, they're posting pictures of everything, of how they have like this really close-knit group of friends, how they have everything that you seems like you don't, and it's a Friday night and you're in your room while your roommate's out doing something, and you're just kind of thinking, what am I doing wrong? And so then you call your parents and you cry a little bit, and you call your brother, then you cry some more. I cried some during freshman year, and everyone does, so it's okay. Do not let people use you. Don't let people walk all over you because you want them to like you. And I think that goes for anything, any point in time. If you feel uncomfortable in a situation, if you feel like someone doesn't value you as a person, but they value what you can give them, what you can do for them, only in that aspect, then leave them alone. There was this girl, we were pretty good friends, I thought, and then, things just didn't work out. I didn't feel like it was a good exchange. I feel like any friendship should be, a good give and take, and there just wasn't that. And so we eventually parted ways, and yeah. Which you will do, you know, you'll learn the types of people that you need to be around. You learn the people that you attract, and whether that's good or bad, you'll learn the type of person that you are going to college. And yeah, you know, so don't stress about it. I wanted to have like those friends that you meet like freshman year, like first week, and then you're like friends all the way through college. Granted, that happens a lot, you know, and not knocking any person that has happened to. It just didn't happen to me. It's an adjustment. No matter who you are, no matter how independent you think you are coming into college, no matter how, like, whatever. It's an adjustment. Just finding the right kind of people to be around and just being independent and setting your own schedule, it's an adjustment for anyone. And it's a learning process, but I'm thankful that I got to have it. And HBCU is not for everyone. I feel like coming in from my background is where I need it to be, because I've gained so much like self-awareness, I've gained so much like social awareness, economical awareness, and things like that that I don't know if I would have gotten anywhere else. So the social scene as a freshman, I'm gonna be honest, there are a lot of parties, there are lots of gatherings, there are lots of social events, there are lots of club events, there are lots of sporting events, there's a lot of everything. And, you know, being a naturally maybe shy, introverted person, it can be a little bit overwhelming. It can be, you know, you think you have to be doing something every second of every day, you think you have to be doing something every weekend, you think you have to go to parties. And if that's not you, no one's forcing you. You don't have to go to every party, you don't have to do anything you're not comfortable with, but also don't be afraid to try new things. That new thing is, you know, joining a club, or if that's, I don't know, if that's taking a class maybe that's not really related to your major, but you're just interested in, if that is going to a party, you know, I wouldn't dissuade you from trying new things, basically. So at my college, at Tuskegee, you're never not going to have something to do. And that's something that I kind of had to realize early on, because you're a freshman, you're first time away from home probably, and you want to be doing everything. But I keep having to remind myself that you have 4 years here, you have 4 years to do whatever you want, and then life happens afterwards, and you can do whatever you want then. You don't have to do everything right now. And being, you know, seeing like Greek life and sports events and parties and homecoming, and there's literally something to do all the time. That is something you kind of have to rein in. Your parents are paying an exorbitant amount of money for you to get a good education. You're there for your education first, and social stuff second, okay? So with social life, it's fun. I'm not going to say it's not. It's really fun to go with friends or to go with people and just have fun somewhere. It's really fun, okay? But make sure you can get up on Monday morning and go to your 8 o'clock class. Make sure that that paper that's due at 11:59, that it's in before you go out. Now, after your work is done, then you can have fun. And college is fun, you know. I definitely knew I wanted to get involved. I knew I wanted to join a few clubs. I knew that I wanted to put myself out there a lot more, because that's how you meet people, that's how you get to know people, that's how you network, and things like that. So I joined the campus newspaper. I joined like a group for artists. So if you're like a photographer, if you're an actress, a singer, you're a visual artist, so if you paint or draw or anything like that, there is this camp. For any of you that are interested in Tuskegee, or maybe you're incoming freshmen, there is a club on campus that's called YBAM. It stands for Young Black Artist Movement. If you'd like to know more about YBAM, please message me, and I will not hesitate to get back to you. You can tweet me. All my social links will be in the down bar, but that's for later on in the video. Like I said, I'm an English major, so I got involved in my department's clubs and their events, and I joined English Club, and I will actually be the acting president for the Tuskegee University English Department, their club. I'll be the English Club president. going into next year. So like I said, any incoming freshmen, if you're interested in that, please do not hesitate to message me. There's something for everyone, I'll say, and if you find that there's not a club, you just have to do a little paperwork and you can make one your own. We don't have a club rush where there's like all the clubs like lined out on the yard and you sign up, but all the clubs, they like post where they're going to be meeting, and then essentially you sign up for them. So that's kind of like our version of Rush or Club Rush or whatever. And so you'll sign up for a ton of clubs because you think you're going to do everything. And then classes start and homework starts, and then you realize I got to take my name off of some of these group me's. I have to take out a bunch of stuff so I can get my homework and classwork done. And so that's what I had to do. You know, I signed up for maybe like 8 clubs, and then I kind of shaped it down to the 3 that I really wanted to do. Then, like I said, you have 4 to 5 years, you know, depending on your major, to join clubs and to do things. So there's no rush. Greek life is fun. You know, I haven't joined anything yet, but it's fun to go to their events. It's really fun to see what they're about. You meet a lot of interesting people there. That's all I'm going to say on that. But bottom line, social life, there's a ton to do. You're not going to be bored. And get your work done first. Bottom line, you're there for your education first. So get your work done before. If you can, get it done. But yeah, you're not going to be bored at Tuskegee at least. Or, I mean, anywhere. College is fun. You know, you're going to meet people. You're going to go to events. You're going to go to McDonald's at 4 o'clock in the morning just because you can. You're going to go to football games. You're going to wait outside the gates so you can get the first seats in the student section. And it's going to be fun, so you don't have to worry about being bored. I came in with the mindset, I'm not going to do anything that I'm not comfortable with, but I also wasn't afraid to try new things. I think that's how I met a lot of people. I think that's what made it so interesting, was that I've always loved trying new things, so I think I came in with that, and that helped me a lot. I know senior year or the summer before I went to college, I was looking at a lot of videos like this, and everyone makes it so, a lot of people make it so easy, make it sound so easy, and it's not. College isn't easy. It's a lot of work, it's a lot of time management, it's a lot of balancing, it's a lot of realizing that you need to take a break, so for your mental health's sake, sometimes it can be scary. It's a growing process, it's an adjustment for everyone. I thought I was going to transfer at one point, but I stuck it out, and now I love my school. I love my H in front of my B, and my B in front of my C. I love my HBCU. For any of you that are incoming freshmen that have any questions about college, about freshman year, for any high school students that maybe you're not here just yet, but you'll be on in a few years, and for any my fellow sophomores, if you have anything to add, take away, or anything like that. Or anything like that, leave it in the comments. I will definitely try to reply to all of you as much as I can. And I think that is it. I'll see you guys later. As usual, my name is Jay Pulliam. All my social links will be in the down bar description. If you have any questions, feel free to message me on any of those or leave it in the comments and I'll get back to you. I'm going to be a sophomore, guys, and that's a little scary to think about, but I'm really happy with it. And yeah. Bye.